Hello, 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 and welcome to Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. I'm here, and thank you for joining. Just having to fix the phone. Anyways, it's Thursday, and it's Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. I'm your host, Bernadine. Welcome to episode 17. We're just chugging along. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me clearly and hear me clearly. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Previous episodes can be found on YouTube. So visit the site, like, comment, and subscribe. And also set your notifications. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Please share the live. Thank you. So as you know, this is a talk show where we discuss sports, politics, current affairs, entertainment, gossip, and news, and whatever is happening in and around in our community and around the world. And as usual, your thoughts or opinions are welcome. And your thoughts and opinion will also help you to win weekly prizes. And this week again, I'm giving away the Ayeso Detox tea, the fruit punch flavored ones. And it's a new tea. We'll discuss this later. So let me know if you can see me clearly, hear me clearly. Let me know. Share the live. Let's see who's on. I hit Enid. Good night. How are you? Thanks for checking in. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. If all is well, I hope you had a good week and hope all is well with you. So just going to jump into, okay, thanks. Thank you. Just going to jump into our entertainment section where we do our artist preview of the week. And there's a bunch of artists that have come out with new songs and videos this week. So we're going to start off with Shensea. She's got a new song and a video called Run Run. The graphics is good. The song is catchy. It has a nice vibe. The rhythm is, bouncy. You can catch a vibe with it. The rhythm is kind of a 80s feel. I think it's like a remix of an 80s song that we used to have, like we partied to back in the day. But a lot of people are bashing the videos. They claim that it's demonic and it's worshiping Satan, that she sold her soul for riches and all of that. So there's been a lot of talk for and against the video, but all in all, it's been playing on all radio stations and so far over 2.5 million streams on YouTube alone in less than a week. So something's going for the song. Buju also has a new song and video out called Summer Body. It's a catchy summer song. It's getting a lot of radio play. Again, it's a Buju song, so the lyrics are good and everything. It's good. You can dance to it. Ding Dong also has a summer song out called Summer Vibes. Rygin King also has a new song and video out called In My Mind. There's speculation that he's still not walking since he got shot a few months ago, as he was using a stunt double for all his standing and walking scenes in the video. The lyrics to his song, nice clean lyrics, getting a lot of radio play and very meaningful song. Skillabang has a new song out called Money Tree. Not feeling the song. It's bland. It doesn't have anything to it. So I don't know. I haven't heard it on the radio yet. So I don't know, but I'm just not feeling that song at all. So check out all videos on YouTube and Vivo, and video links will also be in my description box in YouTube. So we're going to touch on the sports arena right now, and NBA has concluded. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Phoenix Suns 4-2, and they are the 2020-2021 NBA champions. Phoenix won the first 2 games and then was beaten 4 games in a row, so that's called the gentleman's sweep. Giannis was the season MVP and also now the finals MVP. He also won And in addition to him winning the champion, another of his brother was also on the Bucks team with him. So those two brothers won a championship. His other brother, because there's three brothers of them, his other brother also won a championship last year with the Lakers. So all three brothers now have championship rings. So their dad passed away a few years ago, but I know the mom's very, very proud of what they've accomplished so far. So lots to look forward to over the summer with the new NBA season coming up, lots of trades, what's going to happen on draft night, and all of that stuff. Chris Paul, 16 years later, is still trying to get a ring, and we'll have to try again next year. PJ Tucker, he finally got a ring as well. He was with the Raptors for a bit. Then he went to Houston and, he's been on a few teams in the league, but he's finally got a ring. Hi, Marcel. Good evening. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in. For all my other shadow watchers, say hi. We don't bite, Let us know what's happening, how you're doing, and all of that. So say hi. Let's see. We're going to touch on the Blue Jays for a bit. They're still doing their 50-50 games, win 2, lose 2, win 3, lose 3. So they're not consistent. They're not winning consistently. So we don't know. Right now they're 48 and 44 in terms of how many games they've won and stuff. But good news for them is that they got approval to play at Rogers Center for the rest of the season, starting on July 30th, with limited capacity. So tickets went on sale today, and needless to say, they didn't last very long, like they were sold out in minutes. So they'll be coming home on July 30th. So that's awesome for them. They can, be able to play true home games and enjoy being home. TFC have won. They've played 2 games at BMO Field. They did play last Saturday. They draw that game against, I think it was Orlando, and they played New York Red Bulls last night, and they also draw that game 1-1. Josie Altidore is back with the team, but he's coming off the bench. I'm sure that'll change soon. But each time he comes in, he brings an extra vibes on the field, and it's like he just brings another level to the game. I know Saturday when he came in with it, he came in the second half with maybe 30 minutes left in the game, and literally not even 5 minutes in, he scored the only goal that the team scored on Saturday. And yesterday's game, he was a part of the goal that was scored as well. So they really did miss him. I'm glad that he's back. And so far under this new interim coach, they've won 1 game and draw 2 games. They still have a ways to go in order to move up into the standing to get into position to be able to make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. So that's it for sports. We're going to touch on our news. So we're starting in Indonesia. And we're starting in Indonesia because I found this news quite interesting. So an Indonesian man is facing arrest after he allegedly disguised himself as his wife using her negative COVID-19 test results to board a plane. The man, who has been identified only by his initials DW, boarded a domestic flight from the country's capital of Jakarta to Ternate, an island in the Maluku Islands, while dressed in a niqab, a veil which covered the faces except for the eyes. So he was totally covered, only his eyes were showing. His disguise was meant to allow him to successfully bypass security and health officials after he tested positive for COVID-19, but his wife tested negative. So using his wife's ID and negative test result, DW boarded the Citylink plane at Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport. However, his plan was unraveled in the air when he was caught without this disguise. A flight attendant spotted DW going into the airplane bathroom in the niqab and emerging in men's clothing. She subsequently notified the airport authorities in Ternate, and he was detained after disembarking from the plane. He was immediately tested for COVID-19 on site, with the PCR test coming back positive. After that, the airport immediately contacted the city's COVID-19 handling task force to evacuate the man, taking him in an ambulance to his home in Ternate City to self-isolate. So he will be supervised by task force officers, and once his self-isolation period is over, local police have said they plan on prosecuting him. Indonesia's surpassed India's daily COVID-19 case numbers this month and overtook Brazil in reporting the world's highest number of daily deaths. So the man really, him couldn't wait till him come off of the plane and he got changing at the airport bathroom. He actually, like him would I get away with it if him never decides, okay, him more changing at the bathroom. I don't understand. It needed to travel that badly, and yet you went through all that and ended up foiling your plans because you couldn't wait until you get off of the plane before you change back in a regular suit. That don't make it at all. That don't make it. But I don't know what the charges will be, but I know in Indonesia, they don't play it when they decide that they're going to punish you. So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to circle to Jamaica right now. So if you're keeping up with what's happening in the politics down there, you know that the PNP party is dysfunctional, is a mild word to use right now. A lot has been happening with the different vice presidents, and who they so far on, I think Friday or Saturday, 4 of the VPs, and these are big names within the party, they've resigned from their vice president positions. There were also 4 VP who were then appointed unopposed to fulfill those positions. But I mean, the individuals who resigned, Damian Crawford, Dr. Wickham McNeil, Michael Phillips, and Chairman Philip Paulwell, those are well-seasoned politicians. Those are well-seasoned PNP members. Those are high-ranking members. So I know when they had the last leadership race, when it was between Lisa Hanna and Mark Golden, and Mark Golden eventually won, the rift that was in the party at that time, they never got over that. They've tried, but they never really got over it. One of the saying, based on the conversations and interviews that they've had, was that the losers, so Lisa Hanna's faction, was supposed to then suck up to the winners, in essence. And that didn't happen. Normally, when you win, you reach out to the losers to try to make them feel better, and you try to, work with them to have a cohesive unit, a cohesive party. But that didn't happen, and they've been having issues over the last few months, and it just came to a head. I saw a video the other day where they couldn't even figure out how to move. I forgot what they were doing, and it was just everybody just wants to be the leader. Nobody wants to follow anybody. So, so the rift is there, and they're saying, the ones that resign, they can't work with the leadership, And the leadership has decided that, I want to put people in that supports me and supports what I'm doing. So, we're going to move on, and that's what's happening. Also staying with the PMP and what's happening with them. Crystal Tomlinson has resigned her position as president of the People's National Party Youth Organization, the PNPYO. And then she resigned after an audit came back and found that about 33 or 35 of the YO groups that were registered were suspicious groups. They were not actual groups. They were fraudulently created in order to swing votes within the party in the upcoming elections, internal elections that the PNP will be having to, I think they're having, what's that, in August? I think August or September, they'll be having internal elections, and will be electing, delegates for different things. So these 33 YO groups was created as a body in order to help to swing votes. So based on the audit that was done, the general's secretary was asked to remove themselves from the position, which they've done. And then Crystal decided that she couldn't stay with the organization. She hasn't left the PNP, but she's removed herself from the position as president of the YO group, based on the fact that the audit came back and highlighting the fraudulent groups and stuff. It's so bad that one of the person listed as the secretary for one of the groups said she was not aware of the group. She didn't even know she had the position. She was never invited to a meeting that they stated that she was at, and all of that stuff. So, and so it's not looking good right now. There's a lot of dysfunction going on within the PNP party. They need to do something in order to come together and make the party be more cohesive, so that they'll be ready to fight the JLP party in the next election in a couple of years. So we'll see what happens with that. And if you've been tuning in over the weeks, you would have remembered our illustrious JLP MP from Westmoreland, I think, Mr. George Wright. He was the one that famously was fighting with his common law wife that was captured on CCTV video. Well, apparently news report is out that they are supposed to be getting married within the next few weeks. So either the fighting helped to bring the wedding forward, or she loved the fighting and she loved the beating, so she just go stay a night and enjoyed. So I don't know what to say about them, but hey, it is what it is. Marcel says what he did was dumb. Idiots will all, and endangering lives. Idiots will always be idiots. I know, the man crazy. The man needed to fly that badly that he was willing to get dressed up as his wife to say, hey, I'm coming. So if you're just joining, say hello, say hi. Don't be shy. Don't be a stranger. We don't bite over here. It's all love. Anyways, we're going to fly over to the UK right now. This one was quite interesting. A British court has heard our woman allegedly pretended to be a gem expert and swapped diamonds worth £4.2 million, which works out to 5.7 million US dollars, for pebbles using sleight of hand at a luxury London jewelers. Prosecutors said Tuesday that Lulu Lakatos, age 60, posed as a gem expert, and went to jewelry shop Boodles in London's Tony Mayfair area in March 2016, allegedly to value 7 diamonds on behalf of a group of wealthy Russian buyers. The diamonds, which included a 20-carat heart-shaped diamond valued at more than £2.2 million, were to be placed in a locked bag and held in the jeweler's vault until payment was transferred. But when Boodle's own diamond expert became suspicious and opened the bag the next day, she found 7 small pebbles. Prosecutor Philip Stott said the diamonds had been stolen by the defendant by sleight of hand. Ooh. The conspiracy in which she's alleged to have played an integral and central part was one of the highest possible sophistication, planning, risk, and reward, he told Southwark Crown Court in London. Leketos, who was born in Romania but lived in France, denies any wrongdoing. She's charged with conspiracy to steal. Nicholas Wainwright, chairman of Boodles, one of Britain's top luxury jewelry brands, said in a statement that he had been approached by an Israeli buyer who wanted to invest in high-value diamonds in the weeks before the theft. He agreed to the sale of the 7 diamonds following a meeting in a Monaco hotel. Wainwright met with Leketos in his shop's basement along with his own diamond expert, Emma Barton. As soon as Wainwright left the room to take a call from the alleged buyer, Leketos put the padlock purse containing the gems in her own bag, Barton told the jury. Barton said she protested, but Stott alleged that Leketos swapped the purse with an identical locked bag and placed that bag on the table in a matter of seconds. Prosecutors said Leketos then worked with accomplices to make their getaway to France in a rented car. 2 men have already pleaded guilty to conspiracy to steal over the heist. Barton said she discovered 7 garden pebbles when she opened the purse the next evening. Leketos was arrested in France on a European arrest warrant last September and extradited to the UK. The trial is expected to last several more days. Pussy. Lots of planning, and then for it all to go down the drain. That would have been for them a big heist. I guess they had buyers set up already for the diamonds and such, but yeah. Oh well. Anyways, we're going to circle to Florida right now, and Florida Youth Ministry pastor has been arrested for a 3rd time, 3 times in over a month after he was found in possession of videos obtained from a camera he secretly placed in a church bathroom. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons warned last month that additional charges against David Nims, age 37, were likely following his arrest in early June after a 14-year-old boy discovered a small camera tucked away beneath a bathroom sink. Nims was charged with video voyeurism by an adult responsible for the welfare of a child younger than 16. He posted the $10,000 bond and was released that same day. He was arrested less than a week later when investigators found more than 100 files of child pornography on a laptop seized from his home. These images and videos were allegedly taken from the internet. He was then charged with possession of child pornography and booked on a $10,000 bond. He was released 3 days later. A continued search uncovered 8 videos on 1 SD card and 4 micro SD cards containing footage from a camera in the church restroom taken in March. At least 8 people were filmed, of which at least 3 are underage. These recordings appear to be from a device positioned on a shelf above a toilet in a small room. So Nims has now been charged with 8 additional counts of video voyeurism, and his bond was set at $80,000. He remains in custody. You remember I said that man is a pastor? Remember, I'm a pastor. I don't understand. I don't understand. The man is a pastor. Oh, well. Anyways, we are going to go to Ontario right now. We're just going to cover the COVID situation and what's happening in Ontario and go from there. So, in Ontario right now, we are in step 3. So far, the COVID numbers are still coming down. Gyms and the theaters are opening with limited capacity of about 50%. If this continues, we can go into step 4 in a few more weeks. So far, so good for the Ontario COVID numbers. I know tomorrow they're doing another Pfizer Friday. So if your first shot was Pfizer and you need your second shot to be Pfizer, tomorrow's a day you can book an appointment in Peel. I'm not quite sure how Toronto is doing that, but I know for Peel region you book appointment online and you can go in and get your first or second Pfizer shot, whichever one you prefer. Also, they're doing making it easier for students 12 and over to be able to get their shots because they need them in order to be going back to school and to, also the 2-week period that you need to get past once you take your vaccine. So they're making that easier as well. So we'll see what happens. But the numbers so far are doing well. Fingers crossed, it'll continue. The federal government is also opening up the borders a bit. They're allowing fully vaccinated U.S. citizens and permanent residents into Canada as of August 9th. And then international travelers who are fully vaccinated can start coming into Canada on September 7th. So, that's looking up. The USA has not opened their borders, so we can't go over there yet unless it's for essential travel. We still have the restrictions on until August 21st. So we're going to see how that goes. But what that means is that if you're double vaxxed from one of the approved vaccinations, you can come into Canada and not have to go through the 14-day quarantine requirement. And that starts on August 9th. You notice that they make that after the holiday, after the civic holiday weekend, which would have been Carnival weekend. I'm just saying. Anyways, also they had made it, it was initially stated that children under 12 who cannot be vaccinated, and are accompanying their family members who are vaccinated. It was initially stated that those children had to be quarantined, but that has now been changed. So if children under 12 are accompanied by fully vaccinated and eligible family members, they will be exempt from having to quarantine. However, they're still requiring that you wear masks when you're outside and still adhere to the COVID protocols. So, one little inch forward, inching forward. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, the vaccine passport debate seems to be heating up as more and more businesses are requiring proof of vaccine in order for employees to continue working with them, and also in order for some people to do business with them. Jamaica is also thinking about going back into lockdown as their corona numbers are going up. Some states in the southern USA have their COVID numbers are going up as well. Most of these states have a low percentage of their citizens vaccinated. And in the US, it's more politically driven than science driven. The new Delta variant that's been around for a few weeks, that's starting to create a bit of havoc over there. So we're going to see, we have to watch and see what happens, because I know like Spain and Australia, Japan, all of those countries that had reopened before us, they're shutting down or have already shut back down. Also, all flights from India are still banned until August 21st. So there's no direct flight coming in from India, and if they choose to go through a third party country, they have to get a COVID test from that third country before they're able to come into Canada. So we'll just run over the COVID numbers. So in Canada, 1.42 million have been tested, 1.3 million, 39 million have recovered, and 26,523 deaths. Worldwide, it's 192 million tested, 185 million plus have recovered, and 4.13 million have died. In Ontario, we've tested 549,000, 538,000 have recovered, and 9,307 have died. And in Jamaica, it's 51,408 people that have been tested. 46,751 have recovered, and 1,163 have died from that. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we're going to circle to California, and a California couple has been charged in connection to the deadly El Dorado fire that ravaged the region for weeks. Defendants Refugio Manuel Jimenez Jr. and Angela Renee Jimenez are accused of sparking the fire after setting off a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device for their gender reveal party. The blaze began on September 5th, 2020 at the El Dorado Ranch Park in Yucaipa. And they're saying that the family staged a gender reveal during dry and hot conditions at the foot of the San Bernardino Mountains. During the event, the smoke bomb reportedly malfunctioned and caused the ground to catch fire. So the judge said they lit the device, it produced smoke which ignited the seasoned grasses that was immediately adjacent. That grass immediately spread across the ridge and eventually to Oak Glen. So within a 23-day period, the fire burned more than 22,000 acres. Hundreds of residents were forced to evacuate their homes. Dozens of structures were destroyed. About a dozen injuries were reported, and one firefighter, Charles Morton, was killed. The fire wasn't completely extinguished until mid-November. So the fire captain said the couple is facing several years in prison if they're found guilty, and all charges, somewhere between the lower teens to low 20s. So they can receive up to 20 years in prison, all because of a gender reveal party, because you want to go blow up whatever in a gender reveal party. And 22,000 acres of property got burned down. People lost their lives, people lost their homes, all because of a gender reveal party. That's crazy. So they're scheduled to go back to court on September 15th. I mean, so they're going to go to jail either way. But I think the cost of battling the fire should be charged to them as well. However many millions it cost them to fight a fire for over 2 months and 22,000 acres, and the people that lost their homes and all of that stuff should go back to them. They should be responsible for that as well. But yeah, these gender reveal parties are crazy. People are just doing the most. What happened to the little ultrasound? And you see say, yeah, and that go on and it's okay. I don't understand. But we are going to Chicago right now. Chicago. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if anybody new is joining. Drop a comment, say hi. So Chicago man Jerome Terry Jr. has pleaded guilty to sex trafficking after admitting to luring women from Canada to Los Angeles with fake modeling deals. The 45-year-old pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking per the plea agreement. He is expected to receive a prison sentence of between 7 and 15 years. Terry said that he and two co-conspirators set up Canadian Girls Rock Inc. in order to lure young women under the false promise of modeling careers. He lured two victims who were both age 19 at the time and then coerced or forced the victims into prostitution. So the whole premise of the company to be set up was just so that they could lure women into prostitution. Canadian Girls Rock Inc. was the name of the company. And Terry said they intended and planned to recruit, entice, and transport the women to Los Angeles or other locations, and to harbor, provide, obtain, and maintain the women to engage in commercial sex acts. The first of his two victims arrived in Los Angeles in early April 2014 after Terry told her he would provide her with work, while the second arrived in late 2014 under similar false pretenses. Instead, he forced her to perform sex acts with various clients over the course of 10 days and broke her phone when she asked for money. Terry was under federal custody following his extradition from Canada back in 2019. His sentencing is currently scheduled for October 25th, while the two co-conspirators have entered into diversion agreements. Yeah. Take you the people them good girl pitney them and want to turn them in a prostitute. But them bright. Very, very bright. Hi, Ron Robin Mama. Thanks for checking in. So we're gonna go to France, and a French woman who shot dead her abusive stepfather turned husband will not face more jail time. Her stepfather, who then became her husband. So Valerie Bassat, who admitted to killing him back in 2016, was sentenced to a 4-year prison term with 3 years suspended, meaning she would not serve additional time behind bars since she already spent 1 year in prison. The prosecution asked for a sentence of 5 years with 4 years of the term suspended. This means, Madam, that you will leave this court free, a judge told Bassat as her family stopped behind her. The deceased abuser, Daniel Paulette, had begun raping Bassat when she was just 12 years old, as well as forced her into prostitution for 11 years. She was made to have sex with clients in the back of Paulette's car while he told her instructions through an earpiece. After being raped by a John on March 13, 2016, Bassat took a pistol that had been hidden in her husband's car and shot her husband in the back of his head. Bassat was so shocked and relieved that she would not be going to jail, she fainted on the courtroom floor when she heard the prosecution's sentence. Wow. So the man was first her stepfather, then her husband, and while he was a stepfather, he was also her John, and while he was her husband, he was also her John. Oh boy, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna circle to Jamaica. We're gonna circle to Jamaica. So a 4-year-old boy. This was so sad, so very sad. A 4-year-old boy died at hospital hours after he was beaten allegedly with a piece of stick by his stepfather for eating slowly. The 4-year-old has been identified as Nashawn Brown, who resided with his mother and stepfather in Spanish Town, St. Catharines. Both adults were later questioned by detectives, after which his stepfather was taken into custody. The police confirmed through its information arm, the Corporate Communication Unit, that they're awaiting the results of the postmortem to see if there's enough to lay charges. It is alleged that the mother of the 4-year-old was also physically assaulted with a piece of stick after she tried to calm her enraged spouse. Oh boy. So according to statements that were given, the 4-year-old complained of not feeling well and was eating slowly about 7 p.m. while the family was having dinner. His stepfather became angry and broke a piece of stick which he used to beat the deceased severely, causing bruising and swelling to his upper and lower limbs. It is alleged that when the child's mother tried to speak to her spouse, he used the stick to hit her over the head and then took a piece of metal to beat her all over her body, causing bruising, swelling, and a wound to her left arm that caused bleeding. The child reportedly went to the bathroom, where minutes later he was found by his stepfather breathing slowly and before he became unresponsive. Nashawn was pronounced dead on arrival at the Spanish Town Hospital. So because the little pitney never did eat fast, because he never did feel well, the man beat the pitney killing. And the fact say, him could have beat the pitney and beat the mother without even thinking about it, making us say something what him do on a regular beat the mother. People have to be very careful about who they bring in at them yard, who them date, who them bring round them pitney. Like, it's just crazy. You can't imagine now you lose your pitney because it not feel well and it decides it not eat fast enough. Instead of the man say, okay, come and feed you, or take your time and eat, or the mother say, all right, let me feed you, or let me see what go on with you. The man beat the pitney, kill him. That's crazy. I have to be careful who you carry on your pitney. You can't just jump willy-nilly and carry. Sorry. You can't just jump willy-nilly and carry everybody around your pitney. You have to be careful who you bring around your pitney. Because see, they know our pitney dead and gone. Our pitney dead and gone. Anyways. We're going to touch on the Olympics a little bit. There's some stuff I'm just going to do. I'm not touching on like the events and stuff. I'm just going to be touching on a little bit of what's happening in the background of the Olympics. So my girl on the left, she was left speechless after an official told her that her sprint shorts were too short and inappropriate. Now, that's a shorts that she's been using over the years. and has never had it's regulated by Olympics. She's never had anyone come up to her and say, hey, your shorts are too short. But at the Olympics now, somebody felt it necessary to tell her that her bottoms were inappropriate and she should consider buying a pair of shorts. So, needless to say, the 24-year-old athlete is very upset because she's actually wearing an official shorts that the Olympics approved, that Adidas made, and for just a regular volunteer to come up and say, hey, your shorts are too short, Whereas Norway's handball team, which is a team down below, the group of ladies down below, they got fined for actually wearing the shorts that they had on, because it was not a shorts that was approved or sanctioned by the tournament, the handball tournament group that they were playing in. They asked for an exemption in order to wear those shorts, and it was not given to them. But they decided to wear the shorts anyways because they felt more comfortable in a longer shorts, and they were fined 1,500 euros by the European Handball Federation because they decided to swap out their shorts. According to the rules, women must wear bikini bottoms according to the International Handball Federation rules. The bottoms must have a close fit and cut on an upward angle towards the top of the leg, while the side width must be a maximum of 10 centimeters, and men are allowed to wear shorts that are not too baggy as long as they remain 10 centimeters above the kneecap. It's a lot. Anyways, Guinea has pulled out of the Olympics due to the spread of the corona Delta virus. Guinea is a small country, only have 5 athletes who were going to the Olympics. So, but it's sad that you spend years and years training for the Olympics and you can't now go because of a world pandemic, and your government has decided that, you can't go. Well, on the other hand, in Poland, they were sending more swimmers than they were entitled to send. So I think that there were sending 23 swimmers when they're only entitled to send, I think, 17. So there's 6 swimmers that were told that they made the Olympics team that now have to decide which 6 swimmers won't be going to the Olympics. So, imagine the elation of knowing, oh, I made the Olympics team, I'm going to represent my company in the Olympics and all of that. And then to get a notice, say, oops, sorry, we made a mistake and you can't go. And, it's just crushing for those athletes. So I know that they've said that 6 swimmers will be going home. They haven't decided which six swimmers will be going home yet. So I don't know, but it's just sad. It's sad for those 6 athletes. Anyways, the official start of the Olympics is tomorrow, and they'll be having the opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations. Typically, the Parade of Nations is all the countries with all the athletes, but that's not happening this year due to COVID. So I think each country has 2 flag bearers and then maybe another 5 or 6 athletes walking in the opening ceremony. So that should be interesting. That on screen is Jamaica Olympics for Tokyo. It's not a bad design. It's an awesome design. It looks good. So that's that's the Jamaican Olympic Olympic outfit. So if you're just joining, drop a hi, drop a hello. Let's see who's on. Don't be shy. Pop in, say hi. We don't bite. Okay, so we're going to circle back to Jamaica. And a St. Andrews man was remanded in custody yesterday after the judge heard allegations that he abused his 4-year-old child for falling off the bed. The accused man pleaded not guilty to cruelty to a child when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court before Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks. Allegations contained in the police report that was read out in court are that on Sunday, July 18th, the child went to visit his grandfather when a neighbor noticed bruises on the child's torso. The grandfather, who is the accused man's father, said he asked his son what caused the marks on the child's body, but he could not get an answer from him as he began behaving aggressively. The grandfather said he reported the incident to the police. He said that he made his own checks and concluded that his son was not responsible for the injuries. That, however, is in stark contrast with what the child allegedly told police. Daddy beat me with belt. He wake me up and beat me because me drop off of the bed, the child told the police. After hearing the child's statement, the judge was incensed. He ordered a psychiatric evaluation for the accused man and a fingerprint order was also made. He was also remanded in custody until September 1st. Hi, Colleen. Oh, better late than never. Yes. Well, you just wake up. Hi. Oh, hey, Cherise. How are you? Thanks for checking in. Colleen said, Daddy bossy mass. Can you imagine you drop off of the bed? Not only you heard from dropping off of the bed, but your father go beat up on top of that to drop off of the bed. To drop off of bed is not a nice thing, you know. Because some part of you going to hurt you. And then, for your father beat up on top of that. That's not nice. Not nice at all. Anyways, we're going to circle to we're in my WTF section. And in that, we're going to Oklahoma. And a Oklahoma boy died Monday after he attempted the TikTok blackout challenge. The boy, who lived in Bethany, was found unresponsive at Western Oaks apartments with ligature marks around his neck. Apparently, you're supposed to, I guess, put a rope around your neck and see how long the rope can stay around your neck until you pass out. And that is a thing that people are doing on TikTok. And in this instance, this guy, this 12-year-old guy, this little boy died. And apparently another 12-year-old died in Colorado from a few months ago from attempting the same thing. And a 10-year-old girl in Italy also died from attempting the same challenge. They're supposed to choke themselves until they lose consciousness. I am not understanding why people think that that's something that they should engage in. Why would you want to choke yourself until you lose consciousness? Especially if you're by yourself and there's nobody there to revive you. Or, there's, Anyways, we're still in our WTF section. We're going to go to Boston. This one is a little bit gross, but that's why it's in the WTF section, because me never know some people still do them something here. Me never did know some them things they are going to foreign. Big foreign too, but I digress. We're going to go to Boston. A 19-year-old Boston man, and like I said, it's gross, so, Disclaimer: a 19-year-old Boston man who is suspected of breaking into a Norfolk, Massachusetts farm and sexually assaulting a horse has turned himself into authorities. The act, which was reportedly captured by a security camera, has led to subsequent charges against Jackson Z. Kelly for sexual contact with an animal, cruelty to animals, and nighttime breaking and entering with an intent to commit a felony. Kelly along with his lawyer, turned himself in late Tuesday morning. That was a couple of days ago. Police statement says that authorities got many calls providing information which eventually led to the identification of Kelly as a suspect. It is alleged that Kelly illegally entered Turner Hill Equestrian Center around 4:30 a.m. on Thursday, July 15th, and used grain to lure horses from their stalls. He also put the halter on and cross-tied the animals that he assaulted. He then stood on a stool and had sex with the mare as it ate. So while the horse was eating, he was behind the horse. Hillary Sward, the owner of the stables, told the Herald that she was alerted to the crime by a surveillance system, even though the suspect attempted to unplug all cameras. An alarm was triggered when he opened the stall, but he was able to flee before an employee could get there. Police say they conducted their investigation in the same manner that they would as if it was an assault against a human. A rape kit determined that the horse wasn't injured. I must admit, when I read this part, I had a chuckle because they're saying that the horse wasn't injured. Yeah. Swar remains understandably distressed. I look at this person as a sexual predator. It's a threat to a very small community where a lot of people feel extremely violated, and rightfully so. So there's a hearing to determine if Kelly's a danger to the public, and in the meantime, he's being held without bail. I don't know. Colleen said, horses, Damas, what a sick fellow. Them going to have to do DNA test. Horse tonic arsenic. Oh, Edith said I was shocked when I read it. I was that left me speechless. And then when they said that they did the rape kit to see if to see if the horse was damaged, and I'm thinking, normally they say you're hung like a horse. So I don't think film look like something would have damaged the horse, but at the same time, a horse? Colleen said, must be the highest tool. What a tool him have to injure. Horse deep him can't injure. Enid says he's a danger, can't trust him. He's a danger to the public. Who knows who or what else he's going to come out and do after. So I don't know. It was a little bit disturbing for me. But like I said, it's in my WTF section. I don't know. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. So we're going to go to Columbia, South Carolina, and this lovely gentleman on screen has been accused of killing the woman who mistook his car for her Uber ride. This happened a couple of years ago, where she didn't really check the license plate against what was registered with Uber. And she got in the car. he had already put the child lock on so she couldn't get out of the car, and he kidnapped her, 21-year-old Samantha Josephson, and kidnapped her, killed her in March 2019, and all of that stuff. So he's presently on trial. Surveillance cameras shows Josephson getting into the car with lovely gentleman here on screen. She was out partying with her friends. She called Uber. The car came. She thought it was the Uber. She didn't check the license plates or anything. And she got in the car, and that's it. He stabbed her multiple times. He still had the knife that when he was captured, he still had the knife that he used to stab her several times and all of that stuff. So, like I said, the trial is still going on. So we don't know yet, how much time he'll be serving, but he stabbed her over 100 times. Over 100 times. And he managed to clean up himself because they're saying that no DNA was found on the knife and stuff. But they did find her blood and her cell phone in Roland's car. He tried to clean up the car with, bleach and other cleaners, but it didn't get everything. So, because of that, they changed they made some changes to the law in South Carolina. So, front license plate there has to be visible and stuff and all of that stuff. So, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, when I have to take Uber, I check and double check and double check. And I also send my Uber stuff to people so that they can track me as well. I'm not playing. I send all the information in to everybody so that they know where I'm at, where I'm going, and all of that stuff. So we're going to circle to BC for a little bit. A Tim Hortons restaurant there has decided to close indefinitely as a result of an incident last weekend that was the latest in a series of property crime and other social issues impacting the area. Apparently, a man reportedly entered the business, went behind the counter, demanded milk from the staff, poured the milk in his eyes, spewed mucus, yelled and screamed for more, and was acting aggressively, though no one was reported to be physically harmed. So what did milk do to him eye? And he spit mucus. Oh. RCMP attended and arrested the man and also seized the weapon. The man has since been released on an undertaking. So they're saying that the Tim Hortons and the Jamaican restaurant that's behind the Tim Hortons, they've been vandalized several times within the last couple of months. And then they're blaming it on the fact that there is a homeless shelter and I think a detox center close by. And then it's a laneway, alleyway that separates the detox center and the homeless shelter from the Tim Hortons and the Jamaican restaurant. The Tim Hortons guy is just fed up right now and just decided that he's going to close the Tim Hortons indefinitely. The individuals that were working at the Tim Hortons, they've been given jobs at other Tim Hortons location. But there's no, they haven't yet stated whether the Jamaican restaurant will stay open. But, the Tim Hortons man just get very upset and saying him a good thing. So Colleen said, look on him face, right? My man where him what kill the girl, Uber. Enid said, this is so Sam, so damn ugly. Enid says, God forgive to say that. Him ugly, the Lord will forgive you. Him ugly. Anyways, I am going to Louisiana. When I read this story this morning, it was just so sad. Very, very sad. If you're just joining and you haven't said hello, come and say hello. We don't bite. Join in. Drop a comment if you have one regarding the stories that are being read. I am now going to go to Louisiana. So, Louisiana father was murdered on Sunday morning after he confronted a teenage boy who broke into his house trying to see his underage daughter. 34-year-old Desmond Hamilton was shot by 17-year-old Nicholas McQuarter at around 8 p.m. after he entered a second-story window of Hamilton's home to try and visit his 14-year-old daughter. According to the police, both Hamilton and McQuarter were armed when the shooting took place. They both fired shots at each other, and McQuarter was injured and taken to the hospital. Hamilton was declared dead on the scene. Police originally believed the incident to be a break-in until it was revealed that the teen was going to the home to see the underage daughter. It is currently unclear who started shooting first, but the teen is facing charges of second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, and illegal possession of a stolen firearm. So my boy actually climbed up to the second floor to go get some pumps. And end up killing the girl father. So now you gonna prison for life. All because of some pumps. And then now me want to know how the daughter go feel now for know say she a sneak in the boy in the room because me know say the boy now go just go there so and the window now go just accidentally open or was accidentally open for him climb through. How that daughter feel knowing now say her father dead. All because she wants some dick and boy wants some pumps. Imagine being that 17-year-old's parent at home, getting a phone call, say your 17-year-old son killed somebody because he was going through the window, because he climbed through the window to go get some pumps. Let's see, Sharon. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Sharon says, and break and enter too, right? Colleen says, these kids, but him did mean business. And Colleen says, BB, it's called the power of the pumps. I say it all the time. It is the most powerful weapon on God's earth. It make man, the things what power of the pumps do. The things it make man do. Remember me tell you. 17 to 14, right? And she's underage at age 14. So, oh boy. Anyways, this topic here, I found it was quite interesting. So a lady in the USA, she lost her vibrator a few months ago. Recently, she was cleaning out her 13-year-old's room and, sorting and packing and stuff, and found her vibrator in the 13-year-old's room. Now she's writing in to ask if she should talk to the 14-year-old about the vibrator being in her room, find out if the 14-year-old used the vibrator or what. She said she's taken it out of the room. The 13-year-old never said anything to her about it being missing, and she hasn't yet spoken to the 13-year-old about what she was doing with the vibrator in the room. So I don't know. She said she was very shocked, She didn't know that her 13-year-old was at that stage where she needed to talk to her about those things. And she said she's not upset. She's more confused on how to bring it up and what conversation she should have with the 13-year-old. And I know us as parents like to think that our kids are stuck at age 5 forever and ever and ever, but that's usually not the case. By the time they're 10 or 11, them know more about weed than we did at age 10 or 11. So yeah, let's see. Colleen says the daughter need to one vibrate. Colleen, go to your bed. Sharon says put it on the table and see the reaction. True. Colleen says parents need to lock them bedroom door. I don't know. Sharon says put it on the table and put it out there and see what the reaction is going to be. At age 13, I'm sure she probably starts her period already. So she's interested in vibrators and stuff at age 13. That means you need to be having sex talk with the daughter. And it's something that needs to be, a 13-year-old now is like a 30-year-old back in the 80s and the 70s, because they're much more advanced in their thinking, in what they're exposed to, what their friends know, and all of that than we did back then. So a 13-year-old right now know enough more than we used to know back in the day. So she should have a conversation with her daughter and see what comes out of that. So we're going to go to Colleen says I soon go back to bed. Sharon says we can't get pregnant with it. Talk true that. That is called practicing safe sex. Colleen says maybe she use a vibrator when her real life vibrator. Colleen, go to your bed. Enid says put it on the bed and see what will be the outcome. True that. I would love to do a follow-up, but I don't know who it is, so I can't do a follow-up to see what the outcome of that conversation would be, because it would be quite interesting. Anyways, that was our last topic of the night. I am going to do our soul chattings, and our soul chattings this week is life is going to get hard sometimes. So get the fuck up and get your shit together. You're either an ocean or a puddle. Don't be a puddle. People walk through puddles like they're nothing. Oceans fucking destroy cities. Excuse the language, but I didn't like that one where them say ocean destroys cities. Don't be a puddle, because people walk through puddles like they're nothing. That is my soul chattings for tonight. And I am now going to do the drawings for the ISO fruit punch detox tea. It is, so this one is our new flavor. It came out recently, came out about a month ago. I know I sent out some already and I've gotten good reviews from it. And so it is a detox tea. You can drink it hot or you can drink it cold. I drink it at night. I drink 2 sachets at night. So I'm giving away a week's supply of that. So as you know, I will be using my giveaway tool to draw that. I see some comments come in. Colleen says, I love it. I want to continue being an ocean, right? Just step over things and destroy things. Watch for things where you're not like. Don't be a puddle. People walk through puddles like they're nothing. So I am going to draw. I am going to draw for the ISO detox tea, and let's see who wins the tea this week. It is, Miss German. Congratulations, Miss German. I know you're a coffee drinker too, so we're seeing each other soon. You can get the tea, or if I know you're a coffee drinker, so we can work something out. Anyways, congrats everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. See you next Thursday, same time, 9 p.m. Next weekend is a long weekend, but yes, I'll be here on Thursday because Thursday is not a holiday. So see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for spending your time with me. Love you all. See you next week.